What's up, guys? Good morning, good morning. All right, so let me make sure everything's good. All right, so watching ATHX, SYF gapping up some. We also have the cannabis stocks that are moving a little bit with CRON, CGC, NBEV. We also have APHA, another cannabis stock, which is actually gapping down some. I'll have to look up the news for that one in a minute. We have SQ, which is had a big red day yesterday. Now it's gapping up some. What's up, Huguetes? What's up, Daniel? Rahul, John O, Two-Way, Pun. What's up, guys? All right. We also have VIPS. Looks interesting. I'll probably watch this one as well. This one's gapping up from 646 to 680, so up about 34 cents. So gonna watch VIPS. Let's see what else is on the scanners though. FEYE, no volume. QSR, still pretty low volume. SQ looks all right. Had a red day yesterday. Kind of rebounding some from that. I think a lot of people just end up kind of buying before the close or in pre-market the next day whenever a stock has a big red day like this. I think a lot of the times they just end up gapping back up some. BPTH. What's up, Johnny? What's up, Rich? Good morning, good morning. RCON. Small float. Low volume, though. Yeah, the pity stocks have been kind of moving a little bit more than they did prior. Let's see what else we get. QCOM, Tesla. But yeah, CGC looks interesting as well. Kind of stayed in a tight range. Let's see, LJPC. Low volume, LOGI. PCG. I'll watch PCG today, see if it gives some of it back. Although it is a risky trade. You don't know. You don't ever know if PCG is just going to close forever. BOXL moving up. I remember BOXL. It had a green day yesterday. Pretty big percentage move there. Forgive me, I'm a little stuffy this morning. CBIT, INSY, IBM. Wow, look at IBM go. IBM is up. Let's see what we got for news. What's up, Netron? What's up, Lucas? All right, so let's look up IBM, see what's going on with this one. Earnings. Yeah, I figured it was something like that. Yeah, IBM earnings. Let's see what they were. Yeah, IBM's fourth quarter results were good. Quote, the continuing rise of artificial intelligence and cloud computing is central to corporate technology investment. Revenue actually went down 3.5% with IBM, which is the second consecutive quarterly drop. Still, IBM did say it expects adjusted earnings to hit 1390s in the current fiscal year, compared with 1380s for 2018. So it's up about 6% in the after hours. And so yeah, earnings. The growth is in the company's four so-called strategic imperatives: Cloud computing, data analytics, and a few other ones up 5% in the quarter to 11.5 billion. Cloud business grew 12% to 19.2 billion in 2018. And so yeah, good earnings for IBM. We'll see what we get here. Let's see, IBM. Let's see if we have any other sector movement here. Check Apple, Microsoft. SYF also pushing up here. We'll have to look up the news on that one in a minute. But SYF, Synchrony Financial. So Walmart / Sam's Club partnership with SYF was extended, and the earnings beat the expectations as well. So yeah, they put out a release that said the company extended its partnership with Walmart, Sam's Club, and also reported fourth quarter earnings that were better than the expectations. So good earnings, extended partnership or extended deal with Walmart for SYF. Definitely showing it in pre-market here. It's up from $26.55 to $30, $30 even. We have SQ, probably up after IBM, but we can look this one up as well. So yeah, SQ, which is Squarespace, which is a credit card processor, put out a release that said they're launching a free debit card for small businesses, which aims to help them manage their cash flows. And it is up because of that, gapping up from $67.85 to $69.70 for Squarespace. What's up, Mike? Yo, what's up, bro? All right, AMD. We got this one gapping up from 1976 to 2004. Nothing really new on AMD here. We also have, what else do we have? VIPS. APHA in the cannabis sector is kind of going crazy. So we can look at APHA. Look at this one move. Went all the way up to 788, back down to 679. So it's actually gapping down now after it pushed in after hours, it looks like. All right, so it sounds like a company called Green Growth is trying to do a hostile takeover of APHA. They put an offer in yesterday for APHA at about $1.76, $1.76 billion. The offer is planning to start today, which is January 23rd. And APHA said the terms for this new offer is substantially identical to earlier offer, quote unquote. APHA did ask the investors not to take action. And so basically, a U.S. cannabis retailer called Green Growth said it was going to try to do a second takeover bid for APHA, valuing it at $2.35 billion Canadian. Interesting hostile takeover attempt for APHA. What else do we have? We have NBEV, probably just up on sympathy maybe. Gapping up a little bit from 602 to 610. Then we have Cron. Kind of same thing here. Gapping up a small amount, 1507 to 1533. Then we got CGC up some as well. Let me know if I missed anything. I mean, I don't see too much else. TME, which is Tencent Music Entertainment, is gapping up some. Had a good day yesterday. I can look this one up as well. But let me know if you see anything else. I'm not seeing much. Can't really find anything on TME. Alright. ACHV, VCO. AVCO doesn't look bad. AVCO actually looks interesting here, even though it's down a huge amount. It had a big run yesterday, so AVCO, we can look up to see why AVCO is doing what it's doing now. I have no idea what's making this one get this push. This was just up on fluff. Usually I would buy put options on these type of moves just because I'm not seeing any release. If you know what's going on with AVCO, let me know, because I'm not seeing anything that looks significant enough to make this thing go up, 100% in a day. ARNC. Oh yeah, for sure. Two-way. Definitely, man. ARNC is interesting as well. It had a huge red day yesterday. I wonder what happened. Let's look this one up too. But yeah, ARNC. I mean, it rebounded some yesterday, but big drop the day before, or Friday, I guess. So it sounds like it was a collapsed buyout for ARNC. What? Try to read the news here, but it's not letting me. Let me see. What? Why is it doing Financial Times? I can't look up to see what's going on here. I'll look up a different way. Hold on one second. ARNC. All right, so this company lost out on a sale. So ARNC was down 27% Tuesday. It's an aluminum products for cars and aerospace company. But it stated it's no longer pursuing a sale of the company. Media reports in early January said that Apollo Global Management, APO, was thinking about making a bid for the company by the middle of this month. Apparently that fell through. And I think that's causing it to do this big drop here. So it's just a failed sale for this one. And now it's gapping down and showing it. I mean, it rebounded some, but curious to see where it goes. If you look at the daily chart, I mean, the low of the last year is right around 1560s. And so I'm curious to see where it goes if it breaks under that, if it bounces there, or if it breaks and continues. What's up, Andy? I don't know, John. Possibly, man. Alright, so we basically got news today. Let me know if you see anything else that I missed. Yeah, I mean, I think everybody loses their first few accounts. I mean, obviously, I'm still working on being profitable. But I've definitely gotten a lot better from last year. And so it's just a process for sure. Like, the way you want to do it is you just want to take it slow. It's not a race, and it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's probably going to take years to learn. But if you invest the time, you got a good shot of doing well. You just got to invest the time, take it slow, use small size, and, just continue. Yeah, appreciate it, Andy. No stress, bro. Yeah, BOXL did pop up here. I did notice that one. It's up from about $1.80 yesterday. Now it's up to 250s. So we'll see where this one goes. It's at 248 now. Went all the way up to 265 yesterday. I remember BOXL. I used to trade this one last year or the year before, really. Crypto stock, right? Maybe not a crypto stock. Blockchain stock. I don't know. I just remember this one running with all the blockchain movers. What's up, Cast? Good morning, man. Still feeling a little under the weather today, though. All right. So let's see what's on these scanners here. NAVI popping up, although the volume's still pretty low. IBM making big moves here, along with Squarespace. PCG. No, I don't usually trade extended hours cargo. PCG still looks interesting. I mean, I know it's a terrible company. Let's see if it has any news on it. What's up, Matt? PCG. I mean, the only thing I can see for PCG is that they expect capital spending of about 6.6 billion this year. Yeah, so it put out a release that said that it expects capital expenses of about 6.6 bill in 2019 and 6.9 billion next year. They are facing widespread litigation, like I said. PCG is actually the company responsible for the California wildfires. Like, they literally started the California wildfires, at least from what I've heard. Government investigations and liabilities related to wildfires that could potentially exceed 30 billion. So, crazy company. I'm a little nervous about even trading it. I don't want it to get halted and never resume. What's up, Houston? Good morning, man. In a filing with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, PCG did say that they expect to spend 5.7 billion, or in between 5.7 and 7 billion annually from 2020 to 23. SNGX, it's gapping up some from 103 to 129. I use Trade Ideas, yes. I use Trade Ideas Scanner. Don't have a video on it yet, but I do need to make one on how I build scanners. A lot of the scanners I use are custom scanners that I've built myself, like specifically breaking out on volume. It's just a custom scanner I built myself. It looks for 2 times average volume on a stock when it breaks a previous high or low. And so that's the thing I like about Trade Ideas, is that you can actually like build your own scanner, with everything that you're looking for in the market. So really cool. I'll post Trade Ideas link if anybody wants to check out Trade Ideas, which is the scanner I use. I also think that they're having their open house thing where it's like $8 a month or something, $8 a week or something to like try them out. Hold on, let me find it. I gotta find it. There it is. Winter test drive. Yeah, go check out the link. I mean, I know Trade Ideas is having like their winter test drive thing, where you can like try them out for like a cheaper price each month. I'm not sure exactly how much, but I know they're doing that. Yeah, for sure, Johnny. I mean, creating a scanner is actually pretty easy on Trade Ideas. It's just, it might be a little confusing at first, but like all you have to do is go to, like if you see this here, I can go to new and then alert window, and then I can kind of create my own alert window. So like if I want, let's see, if I want a new high, I can add new high. If I want new low, I can add new low and then add alert, and then I can type in new high for the day, so I can just put 1 if I want the new daily high, and then I can add more stuff to it. So like that's basically how you do it. But yeah, it works really well. Once you get the hang of it, it's easy, but it takes a little bit of time. I'll try to make one about that. Yeah, so let's look up SNGX here. SNGX is up from 103 to 127. So SNGX is a late-stage bio company. They're focusing on developing and using commercial products to treat rare diseases where there's an unmet medical need. And they announced that they have been granted a patent. The patent's name is the novel peptides for treating and preventing immune-related disorders. It also includes treating and preventing infection by modulating innate immunity. Interesting. So patent received for SNGX, gapping up some. We'll see what happens here. I think it needs some more volume, but it doesn't look bad. But yeah, if you check out that link, like I said, I know they're having like a test drive, so it's like per week, and I think it's like I want to say it's like $8 a week. If you want to like try it out for like a week, you get it for like $8 to like try out trade ideas and like decide if you want to keep them or not. BIQI. It's up a little bit. It needs some more volume, but it is up some. But like I said, it just needs some more volume. New low float IPO. When did it debut? Oh, 3 days ago on the 17th. Okay. 3 market days ago. Interesting. But yeah, TME doesn't look bad. It's moving some. ARAY. Gapping up some, although the volume is pretty low. I mean, most of the time you can tell what the volume is like just by looking at it, Johnny. So like, what was the one I just looked at? BIQI. You can just look at it and see. Like, it's getting about 1,000 shares a minute, which is very, very low, even for pre-market. And so even yesterday it had less than that. So like, very low volume. You can just look down here and see. Like SNGX has probably on average about 6,000 or 7,000 shares traded per minute. Which is higher, but it's still relatively low. It's not that bad, though. But then you have other stocks like, IBM, who is getting, a little bit over 15,000 shares traded per minute, at least in the last 30 minutes or so. So a little bit better volume. Definitely good volume yesterday. About 85,000 shares per minute yesterday in after hours. And we also have VIPS. But yeah, I swing trade some, not as often. I used to swing trade more. I kind of stick with options now more than swing trades, just because I have that limited risk with options. But yeah, VIPS is up. Had a nice fade yesterday on VIPS. Not sure why VIPS is up either. Not really showing any press release for it. But we also have Cron. ATHX looks good. I think I looked the news up for this one. I'll probably stick with the opening range breakout. I missed it yesterday. I think I just have to commit to it. Maybe look at a few things, but probably stick with it today. So yeah, ATHX actually announced positive results. So they put out a release on Yahoo Finance that says they announced positive results from their exploratory clinical study of multi-stem cell therapy for the treatment of acute respiratory distress syndrome, ARDS. And so positive results for ATHX here. Spiked all the way up to 203. It's down to about 170, 168 now. Ears. Yeah, a little bit cheaper than I usually like to trade, but this one does have pretty good volume. I mean, this one, it's a cheaper stock, so naturally it's going to have more volume. But looks okay. Big percentage move for sure. We could look at ears up and see why it's moving as well. They published new data highlighting the role of beta histine in promoting the restoration of forgotten memories in mice and healthy volunteers. So positive results basically for EARS. It's showing it though. We'll see where it goes. Looking at kind of the pre-market high level here. See what happens if it tries to break that. Just every time it spikes, it fails. Spike, fail, spike, fail, spike, fail, spike, fail, spike, fail. and so I guess I'm a little bit more short biased. But you never really know with some of these penny stocks. You know, you never really know where they're gonna go. But yeah, APHA failed buyout for this one. What's up, Pat? What's up, Isaac? HYYDF. It's an OTC stock. Can't trade it, but doesn't look bad. AELT is up as well. Yeah, SQ's up. I want to say SQ is up. I mean, I know SQ put out a new man, I can't remember what SQ was. A new payment processor. Oh, a new free debit card for small businesses is what SQ is doing. But IBM is up a ton as well. What's up, Fetty? What's up, Mikhail? ACB. I'm gonna watch that one too. PG is up. Procter and Gamble. UTX, United Technologies. NLS spiking up some. Like I said, I'm going to watch PCG too. Terrible company, but I'll probably watch it anyway. Dell up some. Tiva, one of Mitch's favorites, is gapping up some. Stitch Fix gapping down. Or no, it's gapping up, but still looks pretty weak from yesterday. PHG. OSTK overstock. See what else we get. Yeah, BOXL still looks interesting. FTK. Yeah, it looks like that's about it for like the big gappers. Cron. JCP looks like a super high float. What's up, cargo ship? Yeah, I haven't really looked at the overall market today. Definitely up. Let's look at the SPY. We'll see what we get here. I mean, I think Mitch and I both were thinking that the market may turn around, but I mean, it went up to 265s. But yeah, we were still thinking. I mean, if you look at all this resistance above, we were thinking the market may turn around some here. Is Snapchat still on the downfall? Snapchat's one of those apps that everybody else has used that I've just never used. Same thing with Instagram. I've just never used Instagram or Snapchat. Maybe I'm old, but I've just never used them. What's up, John? But yeah, SPY is up. See if we can get some overall market news here. J&J down yesterday. Netflix. Apple is up some after a big drop yesterday. Apple apparently has been getting hit lately. Wow. And so Apple, big drop with the overall market. Let's see what Amazon did. Amazon, it was a significant drop, but it wasn't as serious. What's up, Mike? So we'll see. We got a lot of little cheap penny stocks that are moving today. Did they really? They extended their special, Bill? Yeah, let me see. Available for the next 100 packages only. Huh, interesting. Yeah, so apparently TradeNet still has their sale going on for the next 100 packages only. Yeah, so if anybody wants to check that out, here's the link. What's up, Felix? Good morning, man. All right, so yeah, we'll see what we get, guys. I mean, the plan for today is just to stick with the opening range. Let's look at AMD lately to see what we get here. One thing I'm noticing with AMD though is that like washout longs, red to green moves work extremely well on it, right? So like if you look at every time you get a 5-minute washout long on AMD, it almost always follows through. Here's one. Here's one. This could have been a fail, I guess. Let's get a little bit longer chart. Okay, we'll just look at the last 90 days. Yeah, it's 1, 2 successes. I guess you could call this one a fail. So 2 successes, 1 fail. Three successes, 1 fail. I don't know if you consider that one. They don't happen very often, though. 4 successes, 1 fail. So yeah, washout longs look interesting as well. But AMD is gapping up some today, so I guess I'm a little bit more short biased. It just depends. It had a pretty big red day yesterday. Really obvious triangle. What's up, Dean? I do not use the 1.5 minute chart. I use 1 minute and 5 minute. So you were kind of right. I use 1/5 minute charts. I use a 1 minute sometimes at the open specifically, and then a 5 minute chart usually a little bit later. Alright, so we'll see what we get here. We got 8 minutes. Like I said, they're probably going to stick with the opening range. It would have worked yesterday. Barely would have worked, but it would have worked. So we'll see if we get a little bit better moves. Another thing I'm noticing with the opening range, though, is that the smaller the first candle, the better. Right? So like if the first candle is like really large, it usually doesn't work that well. And specifically, most of the time when it does work, it's when it's pushing up as opposed to down. Most of the time when it breaks out on the upside, it works fairly well. When it breaks out on the downside, for some reason, it just hasn't been working like I want it to. You think Array can push over $5? Maybe. I appreciate the sub, Garrett. Welcome, brother. Appreciate it. Also, if it's your first time joining us, guys, I do this every weekday morning with Mitch and I. And then we day trade live once the bell rings right here on YouTube for free. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. What's up, Adam? Good morning, man. Sultan, good morning. And so yeah, looking at AMD, it usually fails on the downside, right? So like if it breaks out on the downside, it typically fails. But usually on the upside it works. Some days you get big down moves though. We'll just have to see. I just have to stick with it. Maybe take some more data from it. I appreciate the sub, Joe. Welcome, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I was looking at PCG, John. Like I said though, PCG. This company is literally responsible, at least from what I've heard, for the California wildfires. And so, to be honest, I'm surprised this stock is even still around. You start a statewide disaster like that. I'm surprised this company's still here. I don't know enough about it to say whether it will continue to be here, but regardless, it makes me a little apprehensive to trade it. I don't know if I want to trade it just because I don't want to get stuck in a halted stock that never resumes. What's up, Martin? Good morning, man. AMD, Cron, SQ, NBEV, CGC, APHA. Basically two-way. I can't trade a lot of the cheaper penny stocks, but those are the other ones I'm looking at. Yeah, AMD actually had a really nice triangle yesterday. So like I was actually looking at this. Let me remove some of these. But you can see the little triangle formed here on the 5-minute. And it broke down really nicely, wedge triangle, using that pre-market level of support. So that didn't look bad. I was watching that, just didn't take it. Martin, the best advice I can give you as first of all, I'm still working on being profitable myself, right? But the best I have been trading for a few years, so like the best advice I can give you is just to take it slow. Learn about calculating risk and reward in each trade you get into, and then just take it slow. Use small sizing, paper trade, find a strategy you like, and then really master that strategy. Back test your setups if you can, and just take it slow. Best advice I can give you. Yeah, Netron. I kind of agree. Yeah, it'll be around for a while, probably, John. I just don't want to get stuck in a halt for it. But yeah, APHA also looks pretty interesting here. Yeah, 5 minutes, guys. Let's do this. Really about 4.5. 3.5. But yeah, watching APHA and AMD at the open, really. Gonna watch the overall market as well. Maybe watch the rest of the cannabis stocks, SQ. See where those go. That's right, two-way. Yeah, hold on. Let me look at these one more time, see if there's anything else I really want to watch. SYF is another one I do want to keep an eye on. Hold on. Before I bring those other scans up, let me just put these up so I can see what I'm looking at. So got SYF up. SYF had a big move. Cron, CGC, NBEV. Got the SPY. Alright. So we got about 2 minutes. I'll put the intraday scans up now. Here we go. All right, let's do this, guys. Have you noticed any real difference in getting in or out of positions using real money versus paper? Yeah, I mean, on TEFs, not a huge difference. I know limit orders are pretty bad. Limit orders really don't get me filled that great, but market orders have been decent. Obviously, not as good as paper, but they've been decent. About 2 years, Martin. All right, guys, we got about a minute, a little bit over a minute. CGC kind of turning around some here. Dropping down some. I like APHA on the bottom here, actually. All right. Martin, so I mean, here's the thing, man. Like, people are going to advertise day trading as like a get rich quick scheme. They're going to say, hey, is it possible to make $1 million in 2 weeks by studying? Yes, and you can do it. Just buy my day trading course. Like, that's what people are going to tell you, right? Of course, it's possible, just like winning the lottery is possible, just like winning the Powerball is possible. It's highly unlikely, and it's most likely going to take months and months and months and months. And so just understand that about it. But there's the bell. Probably years, by the way. All right, APHA, we got a little spike up. AMD, a little push up. The overall market is up some. It's at 264. I don't have a Camry, Isaac. It's a Toyota. So the first thing with the opening range breakout is that I got to make sure it's following the overall market, right? Which it looks like it is. So yeah, AMD looks to be following the overall market right now. Like I said though, I want this first 5 minute candle to be small, which it is right now. It's only about 10 cents, 9 cents. Cron pushing up some, although CGC is down. So was SQ. SYF is down. All right, so AMD kind of going against the overall market now, at least. Oh, I don't know. I mean, I have a Tundra, Cody. I have a Tundra, man. I don't know what a Camry is. PCG drop. Yeah, PCG big drop. It kind of rebounded some though here. Nice, Antonio. Good job, brother. All right, so we have the overall market dropping some here. We also have AMD dropping. APHA starting to push up. I mean, it's still not green on the day quite yet. Waiting for it to break these highs. Really interested to see what APHA is going to do right here at 7. It had definite confirmation. Trying to break that high here, but you can see the confirmation in pre-market. A lot of support and resistance at that level, so watching that. Market kind of turning up here. Nice two-way. Good job, brother. Congrats, man. RCON popping up on the scanners. I don't think I can trade it, but RCON is up on the scanners. APHA also broke that high here at 703. All right, so the SPY is reversing here. The SPY is testing the highs. APHA is starting to break over that $7 level that I mentioned. It's at 704 now. But there it goes up to 707. AMD kind of looks like a fade though here. You know, you got your risk area maybe up to 2005 or so. So 5-cent risk, 10-cent reward. Doesn't look terrible for a fade. Only problem is the market is starting to break the highs here. Alright, so we have this opening range on AMD. Highs at 208, low is at 1990. And so watching that for the break of the highs here. Market's pushing up, so it looks good. Alright, so I'm in with 300 shares on AMD. For the opening range breakout, like I said, giving it 1-to-1, so risk is about 1990s or so. Reward level is going to be at 2030 or so. See if we can get that move. SPY looking strong, so hopefully we get some continuation here. Broke out on the upside, which is generally pretty good for me. Up to 16s. 17s. 18s. Not looking terrible. I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of profit there. Oh, no, I bought more. Oh, no. What do I do here? I got to sell some. All right. All right, so I took half off there. I still have 250 shares, but I banked some profit here. Accidentally bought when I should have sold. Trading error, my mistake, but still got time here. All right, it's back up to 20s. Let's see if we can get over 20 this time. Market kind of turning around some, so I got to be careful here. I'll give the overall market a little bit of time here. But yeah, I got to watch it closely. Like if you look at the SPY here, the SPY is reversing. And so we'll see how strong AMD gets, but SPY reversing some. See if it bounces some here. It should be good for me, but I'll probably hold the rest break even. If it gets back under my entry, I'll just get out. Back up to 20s. Let's see if we get a break over 20 now. Quick drop. All right, it's back up to 18s. Kind of struggling up here. 19s, 20s. See if it tries to break this high again. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, it's I'm so used to shorting John that like my hand is just naturally kind of sways towards buying to cover instead of selling. You can tell I'm a short trader. I'm just used to it. All right, there's 20 break. Looking good. Let's see how many shares I have. I'm going to take another 100 off here. And then let the 150 work. With the slump I've been in, I think I just have to focus on getting a few green trades in here. And now the goal is just to let the rest work. I got 150 shares left. I'm just going to let the rest work until 11 a.m. as long as it holds past my entry level. I think that's a reasonable way to approach it. I've taken enough profits to be pretty safe in it so far. But yeah, the opening range breakout worked yesterday and today. And so maybe last week was just a bad week for it. And that's what I'm hoping at least. AMD breaking the highs here. See if it continues up to 28s. $29s. Let's see if we get up to 30s. There's 30. I'm going to go ahead and get out here. I got out for a $45 gain. After the last few weeks has been, I think I just need to get a green trade in the books here, guys. I got the 1-to-1 for sure. You know, 1-to-1 was at about 20.30, so like that's where I got out. Taking it for the 1-to-1. And I'll just look for some other moves today. But about a $45 gain. I'll take it. But yeah, I mean, like I said, the opening range breakout worked really well on AMD yesterday. It worked today. And so I'm hoping this is going to be a good week for it. I'm also going to be watching AMD here to see if it continues in the breakout direction up until 11 a.m. my time, which is 12 p.m. market time, because that's really what I back tested to see how often it continues in the breakout direction. But I got a green trade into the books. It's been kind of a brutal week for me, so maybe the opening range still has viability. I'm still kind of bummed out I didn't take it yesterday, but I'm happy with $45 gain. Definitely needed to boost my morale. And I'm watching the SPY pretty closely here. The SPY's kind of starting to turn back around some, so it's like we'll see if the SPY holds these 264s. The indicators for the opening range breakout, it's actually a really simple strategy. So like you wait for the 5 minute candle to form, So you wait for this first 5 minute candle to form, right? And then you mark down the high and the low, and you just wait for it to break that range. So like the high is 2008, the low is 1989. Um, and so it's about a 20 cent range on average, about 20 cents, right? So from 2010 to 2030 is 20 cents. So you just take it for 1 to 1. So you look to get the equivalent of that first candle, which is right here. So 1, 1, maybe a little bit bigger, but it's all right. So yeah, it's very simple strategy. You just wait for the opening range to form with these first 5 minute candles, and then you get in once it breaks the range. Like I said though, like I said in pre-market though, it seems to work much better when it breaks out on the upside. When it breaks out on the downside, it's been kind of faking me out a little bit. So I may kind of tweak the strategy to just stick with breakouts on the upside at least. Either that or gap fills. Because whenever it breaks out on the downside, like as you can see, last week was pretty tough for it. It only had one successful instance last week and 4 failures. But the accuracy rate's still pretty good overall. But you can see each time it worked when it broke out on the upside. So I might just kind of stick with looking at it on the upside for sure. Yeah, and since it keeps testing this level, I think that was a good place to exit. I think a lot of people are jumping out on it with 1 to 1, at least people that are taking the opening range. And so I don't think it was a terrible exit. I got the 1 to 1, which was the goal. A little bit better than 1 to 1, actually, but I'll take it. All right, gonna move on now. Like I said, though, I'm gonna watch AMD. Like when I really back tested this strategy, right? What I back tested was that AMD continues in the breakout direction 66% of the time up until noon market time, right? So like 11 a.m. market time. So like what I really back tested when I was testing this strategy is how often it actually continues in the breakout direction up until noon. And I think with this last week, it's been kind of a tough week. I just wanted to get a green trade in the books, but I'm still going to be watching it to see if it does, in fact, continue in that breakout direction up until noon, because that's going to get me so much better risk to reward than I would get with this 1 to 1 method. And so definitely watching for that. We'll see, though. I think it all depends on what the SPY does here. The SPY bounced off the VWAP, but I think that's kind of what it depends on. BOXL popping up on the scanners here. BOXL did end up breaking out. You don't, Martin. Like, for instance, like I use the VWAP fade strategy, and it's not. The reason I chose AMD is because it was really easy to backtest. It was really easy to backtest the strategy on AMD because it typically has good volume. You know, it's easy to test. But I mean, I know some other stocks it works really well on too. Just in my specific instance, I decided to stick with AMD because it was the easiest to backtest. But like for instance, another strategy I use is like the VWAP fade, and like that one isn't only for a specific stock. Like I look for that move on multiple different stocks. I'll have to look at that, Danny. It's something I'll have to back test. You know, you guys know me. I always like to test everything I do, and so I'll have to look at 10:30, which would be 9:30 my time, which kind of makes sense as well. So like we can look at it here. In this instance, it didn't work. Like yesterday, it kind of gave it up, but it did give you that 1 to 1 yesterday as well. SPY pushing up here, so we should actually get a big move in AMD. a big push up in AMD, because if you look at the SPY, we're probably going to get a push up in a lot of these stocks, but the SPY's breaking the highs here. It just broke over 264.50, and so SPY breaking the highs, we should probably get a move back up on some of these. But what was I saying before that? 10:30. So yeah, let's look at it. So it'd be 9:30 my time. So 9:30 my time would be right here. So like 9:30 would be right. Yeah, let me remove this. Here. But yeah, like if you look at 11 o'clock my time, like this is why I chose 11, right? Like even yesterday was a really good example of this. 11, right here. That very top of this candle was actually at 11. You see that? And so the very high of yesterday was at 11. Let's see here. 11 is right here. And then let's keep going. I just noticed a lot of times at 11, the stock gets kind of exhausted and starts to tire out some. 11 was here. Here's another good example. 11's right here. So almost around the high. So it's not going to work every time. It you know, when I back tested simply the opening range, it had a 76% accuracy rate on AMD specifically. But when I back tested it with how long does it continue in the breakout direction up until noon, then it gave me a 66% accuracy rate. So obviously not as high, which is kind of to be expected, but 66% is still a pretty good accuracy rate. And the beneficial and favorable risk and reward that you're getting with letting the stock run that much is going to compensate for the times it doesn't work, I think. But yeah, guys, remember to check out TradeNet. Apparently, they're letting their 20% off sale going on, and for the next 100 packages sold. And so, if you're interested in using the broker that Mitch and I use, you can check out TradeNet. I'll post the link here as well. We make a commission from it, but it's one of the ways we keep the stream free. And so, if you're interested in using the broker that we use and helping support the channel, you can check out the link. Yeah, I like that option as well. Luke, BZUN. Yeah, BZUN pushed up nicely as well. What did Squarespace end up doing? Square, SQ. Up some. And yeah, like I said, AMD pushing up. The SPY's pushing up, and so when the SPY's strong, I just want to make sure it's days that it actually follows the SPY really well. I think days when it follows the SPY, it typically works fairly well. But yeah, Squarespace up. Squarespace is honestly following the SPY. Like if you look at Squarespace here and the SPY, very, very similar. This is the SPY and this is Squarespace, so it almost looks identical. Then what do we have? IBM. Similar move to AMD actually. Alright, BOXL went up to 310. It's down to 293s now. We'll see if it holds support where that previous resistance was here. Alright, so yeah, SPY pulling back, AMD pulling back. Currently in eBay, there's a triple top waiting for the breakdown. Yeah, I actually kind of like that on eBay. Kron with a beautiful fade. So I know somebody was asking me. I bought a second TradeNet package and they are being unresponsive. Emailed my account manager twice and the customer support email no answer. I emailed Clifton and he said I'm on it and never got back. Send me a message on Twitter, Quentin. It's at Beginner Trades. And I'll try to help you out and see if I can get them to respond. But like I said, you know, you got to contact them. But I can contact Dan who's like one of the guys I always speak with, and so message me, man. I'll try to help. But yeah, look at Kron. Actually, somebody was asking me about a VWAP fade. This is a VWAP fade right here. Beautiful example. Look at this follow through on this fade right here. Beautiful example. Bearish trend, pull back to the VWAP, and then a big wash. So a beautiful VWAP fade on Kron, CRON. VIPS actually had a VWAP bounce there as well. Never heard of them, Mike. Yeah, that is weird though, Quentin. But yeah, like I said, man, message me. I'll do my best to try to get them to respond to you, but I have no idea, man. Hopefully get it figured out. Nice, 2-way. Good work, bro. But yeah, a little bit of FOMO going on. I see Kron here. Beautiful fade. Perfect fade. Somebody asking about a fade. A fade is downward trend. Pull back to the VWAP. You get in going short. Write it down. Beautiful follow through here. Yeah, I think it all depends on what the SPY does, Isaac. You know, I think if you look at the SPY here, and then AMD, I mean, they're following each other to a certain extent, and so I think it just depends on what the SPY does. Like, if the SPY continues to break highs, I think AMD will continue up, but if the SPY pulls back some, I think AMD will follow suit. PCG had a nice fade as well. Look at this fade. Two fades actually. PCG actually had two really nice fades. 1, 2. Tight risk on both of them. Nice, Netron. Good work, brother. Yeah, like I said, I think AMD and the SPY. I think on days when AMD follows the SPY, I usually use the SPY as kind of a confirmation indicator to see if it's going to confirm the trend or not. Could be a dip here, but if the SPY starts to wash, I think AMD will follow suit. But like I said, kind of bummed out I missed Kron here. Kron was a pretty fade here. Look at this move. BLNK popping up on the scanners. RCON was on the scanners this morning too, but the volume's kind of slowed down on it. BLNK is a charging car company. I remember this one. Electric car charging station company. And so BLNK actually spiked up here with some pretty good volume actually. It's up from about the $1.90 level, $1.85, $1.90, and it's up to 210. So a pretty big percentage move. AMD's starting to spike here. CGC has kind of been in like this weird trend, kind of choppy trend. But yeah, maybe just a dip in AMD. It's starting to run up now. It's up to 220.37s. But yeah, I think with the opening range breakout, I just have to continue studying it and just working on improving. I think that even though I had a rough week last week with it, this week it's worked 100% of the time, yesterday and today. And so I think it's one of those things where I can't let the bad weeks scare me from missing out on the good weeks. Nice, Usman. Nice job, brother. Nice, Danny. Good work, man. Nice job, guys. But yeah, PCG continues to get hit here. Nice. Mike, good work, brother. Yeah, man. Come to Texas. Party at my house, man. We'll have a Green Day party. Yeah, bro. But yeah, PCG breaking under these lows here. Uh, Lucas, I walk a lonely road, bro. Yeah, nice, Mike. Good job, brother. Mike killing it, man. Good job. How much capital do I trade with? So with the student account, they gave me 80,000. I have a 4K max loss. Appreciate the sub, Velociraptor. I love the username, by the way. My daughter and I love watching Jurassic Park. That's like our movie. So appreciate the sub, man. Also appreciate it, Joe. Welcome, guys. Appreciate the subs. Oh, Isaac, man. Isaac. You know better than that, man. That's banning. That's banning words. They might have. I mean, I don't really have to worry about that. I don't use big enough song. I don't use I don't use big enough sizing, Luke, to ever really get hit with a $3,500 max loss. eBay finally broke Team America. Yeah, I was actually watching that one on the side. Let's look at it. It looked good. Only problem is like the volume's a little bit low for eBay, but like it broke down nicely for you, so good job. But yeah, PCG breaking these lows, really getting hit here. Yeah, SPY pull back. AMD's pulling back with it. Yeah, it is cold here, John. John O's in Houston with me, man. It's freezing. It's like 40 degrees here, which is like cold for us Texans. Technically, I'm Louisianian, but it's cold for everybody living in Texas. But yeah, Isaac, those are fighting words, brother. Everybody knows that that win was stolen from us. Saints should be going to the Super Bowl. The problem I have is like, why would they let referees that live in Los Angeles and that used to play for the Rams ref the Rams game? Obvious conflict of interest. You know. Appreciate it, Martin. Thanks, brother. But yeah, Saints. I don't even want to talk about the Saints, man. The Saints had that game stolen from us, and everybody knows it. Oh, I'm not crying. I'm just stating facts here, man. That game was stolen from us. So, Isaac, you don't think that was pass interference and targeting? I think it was. Plus, they made it so it's a judgment call, so Peyton couldn't throw a flag or challenge it. Yeah, Samuel. I mean, listen, I like the Pats. I think Brady's probably the GOAT, and I actually like the Pats. I'd rather see the Pats win than the Rams after last week. AMD breaking out on the upside here, and it's coming along with the SPY pushing up. So it's like I said, it follows the SPY pretty closely here. And so now that the SPY's pushing up, AMD's pushing up to 2045. And like I said, I'm still watching it to see what it does up until noon market time. That's right, Jay. You'll be all right, Jose. But yeah, AMD spike it up here up to 2045s. Also kind of looking at SYF here. That's right, Sam. That's right, brother. Was it an email, Mike? Was that beginner trading at Gmail? I'll have to check, man. I didn't see it. Sorry if I missed it, bro. But yeah, we also have VIPS running up here with the market pushing up. VIPS up to 720 or so. Nice little VWAP bounce there. Alright, so AMD, next resistance is at this 2050 level. Let's see if we get some confirmation in that level. Yeah, definite confirmation at 2050. Yeah, a lot of confirmation there. So this 2050 level is significant for AMD. Let's see if it holds. Oh, you signed up, Mike? You signed up for the classes, bro? If you did, my bad, man. I didn't even notice it. Yeah, I'll look it up. Let me see. Yeah, I'm not seeing it, man. AMD big pullback. Like I said, that 2050 level was significant there. Oh, alright. Yeah, send me another one to Gmail, man. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, it just got rejected, and the reason it's dropping is, like, if you look at the SPY here, the SPY's dropping, right? The SPY pulled back, AMD pulled back, and so it's following the SPY pretty closely today, actually. I think that's what we're getting here, is that it's just following the SPY pretty close. SPY drops, AMD drops. It's also this big level, like I said, this 2050 level is significant. Like, if you look back in time here, you can see a lot of confirmation at this 2050 level here, here, here. Even if you go back to the prior day, there, right up to 2050 pre-market as well. So 2050 has a lot of confirmation. I think that'll be a big level it's going to fight. And I think it all, like I said, I think it really just depends on what the SPY does. SNJX. SNGX. Yeah, SPY's dropping down some. SNGX was a nice fade this morning. Gap fill. It was really nice. PCG is actually right up to the VWAP. It's already faded twice off of the VWAP already. And so I have a little bit less confidence on the third chest, but it is pulling right back up to the VWAP where it got rejected 2 times prior to that. But like I said, a lot of times I don't like to trade the third move. A lot of times it'll work for the first 2 and then fail on the third one and squeeze up. But PCG was right around the VWAP. It's at 765 now. Does it happen a lot for stocks to follow each other? It just depends on what the stock is, right? So like a higher cap stock like AMD, a lot of the times it follows the SPY, but like a cheaper penny stock usually doesn't. Like for instance, SNGX, or PCG. SNGX isn't going to follow the SPY because it's a penny stock and it's less relevant to the overall market, where AMD is definitely more relevant to the overall market, and so it's going to follow the SPY closely more of the time. It's not always going to follow the SPY, but a lot of the times it is. MBOT. Yeah, MBOT getting a big spike here. And this is one of those moves I always talk about, right? With MBOT, really good example of why most of these big pumped up gappers fail, right? So like you see MBOT, it gets squeezed up, kind of goes parabolic up to almost $20. And then what happens after that? It kind of quietly fades back down and people tend to forget about it. These are usually the ones I like to buy put options on. Just because a lot of the time they're going to quietly fade back down. Even though it's spiking here, I mean, it's dropped 100%, or it's dropped 50% from where it was. My wife is calling me. Hold on one second, guys. All right, I'm back. My wife literally just called me because she went to the doctor and had to get a shot, and she said it hurts. So my wife literally called me to tell me that her shot hurt. I should have asked if she wanted a sticker. All right, so AMD's kind of sideways right now. I wouldn't say it's moving up, but it's sideways, but it's bouncing up a little bit here from where it was, and so AMD might get another spike here, but I think for either one of them to really pick a direction, I think the SPY has to at least break the highs. We'll see. Isaac, man, those are fighting words, brother. You're lucky I know you're joking and you're trolling me a little bit, you know. But since you're a longtime member, I'll allow it. But fighting words, brother. Yesterday I could not trade because my wife can't drive in the snow. Seriously. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm from Louisiana, and you know, a winter ago, 1 or 2 years ago, it actually snowed here in Texas and in Louisiana, and like it's like the smallest amount of snow, but like when it snows down here, schools get shut down, work is canceled. You know, everybody kind of freaks out a little bit because they don't know how to handle the snow. I've actually lived in Canada, though. Like, my stepdad is from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, and I've actually lived in Canada for, like, a while. So I love the snow, but people here don't know how to handle it. Yeah. We'll see when the Pats win, Isaac. I'm going to be trolling you nonstop, man. Alright, so AMD and the SPY following each other actually pretty closely here. Alright, so like if you look at the SPY, AMD's following it pretty closely. SPY pull back, AMD pull back. Oh yeah, for sure, Lucas. Definitely, man. Nobody has tires ready for ice, and so everybody kind of goes crazy. While I appreciate the $2 donation, Isaac, I do not agree with the message. Pats are taking it, brother. Pats are taking it, man. But appreciate the $2 donation, man. MBOT spiking up here. Yeah, definitely, Jay. Whoa. Yeah, look at MBOT, guys. Parabolic move on MBOT. It's up $1.70 from where it was about 10 minutes ago. So MBOT going absolutely crazy here, spiking up in a huge, huge way. It's up to 840 right now, pulling back some from this crazy, crazy move, but a massive move here, probably getting pumped up again. Let's look it up. I'm going to look up and see if I can find out why MBOT is doing what it's doing here. Earnings, maybe? Crazy. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything for MBOT yet, but it's probably getting pumped up, I'm guessing. I don't know if it's a short squeeze. I think it's probably just a pump here, guys. Because I think some traders might have been shorting it, but I think it's probably just getting pumped up here. I don't know if it's a chat room pump or like what the reason is, but probably just getting pumped up, I'm guessing. I know it definitely got pumped up last week. I know it had positive data, but the data wasn't good enough to make it go up 100%. And so probably just getting pumped, I'm guessing. But who knows? I mean, it's up to 880s. So crazy, crazy move here. Let's see if that 1 minute pullback works. It's all subjective, Martin. So like some people like to trade. Some people like to trade, and the morning's better. I tend to prefer to trade the first hour, hour and a half tops, and then I'm done. I won't trade after that. Usually the volume slows down a little bit, and it makes everything a little bit less reliable. But it's all subjective. Some people like trading power hour, which is the last hour from 3 to 4 market time. And so it all depends on what kind of trading you do. I tend to prefer the first hour, hour and a half, but like I said, it's all subjective. Raybo, it's probably on your end, man. I'm pretty sure everybody else can hear me. Yeah, test, test. I think everybody else can hear me. BOXL. I mean, listen, I'm not an investment professional, not liable for any, losses people take in the market. You always have to trade responsibly and make your own decisions. But I wouldn't buy BOXL up here. I would wait for a pullback. Maybe if it holds 350s, but I don't. Buying here, I would consider chasing it, and so, But yeah, nice little 1 minute pullback here. Like I said, on BOXL, or not BOXL, sorry. Maybe a quick scalp play. It's a little bit too high here. Maybe after this pullback, but I don't know. It's not really my style of trade, and so I don't want to give you the wrong answer, man. But maybe I was wrong. I mean, BOXL starting to squeeze. But like I said, I still consider it probably chasing it a little bit right there. It's just up so much already. I don't want to get greedy with that one. What was the other one I was looking at? Oh, yeah, MBOT. What's up, Jason? When do you decide to take a profit compared to holding to see if there is more gain? Curious. So it all depends, man. It all just depends on your strategy in the trade. Like before I enter a trade, I give myself a reward level. Like I calculate where my risk is and where my reward is. Right? Like the opening range breakout, it's a 1-to-1 trade. So I'm looking to get 1-to-1. Like if my risk, which is down here at the other side, is 20 cents, then my reward's going to be 20 cents. And so I'm looking to get it from 2010 up to 2030, which is exactly what I got. It just depends. But like for the VWAP fade, for instance, like where was a good example? PCG, right? If you look at PCG and for a VWAP fade, it's typically this is how I approach the VWAP fade, right? Let me see if I can get this right. There we go. So like if I got in PCG here, my risk could be, let's see, my risk could be up here at probably about 787 here, right? So my risk is 787. My entry is 780. So that's 7-cent risk, right? And usually I make my reward target, at least my first reward target, the low of the day, right? So that would be down here. And so my risk is 7 cents from 780 to 787, and my reward level is from 780 down to 762. So my risk is 7 cents. My reward is 18 cents. And so almost 3 to 1 reward to risk, 2.5 to 1 really. And so I usually take a profit at the previous low of the day, but it all depends on the strategy. It all depends on your plan, how you want to approach it. But it's usually just a partial here, and then I let the rest work to see if it's going to keep moving down or not. And so I hope that makes sense. Yeah, BOXL may have had a 1 minute pullback on it. Let me see. Yeah, right there, nice little 1 minute pullback. This one I don't know about. It's under 4. I don't know if I like it as much. But yeah, like I said, AMD washing out, and it comes with the SPY washing out, right? AMD tanking, the SPY tanking, and you can see how closely these are following each other. So AMD, the SPY, and so they're the SPY, AMD. So like they're following each other pretty closely here today, which is usually when the strategy is the most beneficial. Yeah, it's on your end, Raybo. Yeah, good to have you here, Eric. But yeah, SPY coming down some. Really interesting to see what the SPY is going to do here. It technically broke the low of the day for a minute here. And so now it's just about what the SPY does. A lot of the times the SPY is going to pull back to this low and then kind of chop back and forth. So it's going to pull back to the low, go back up, test the highs, get rejected, come back down to the lows, and kind of stay in like a sideways trend. And so we'll see if that happens today. But a lot of times that does happen with the overall market. And so with that, maybe we'll get a bounce in AMD, maybe not. It just depends on what the SPY does here. SPY bouncing some at that low. We'll see if it continues to bounce. All right, I know, but yeah, Ray, everybody else can hear fine. It's on your end, man. Also, chill out with the caps. I appreciate the sub, Trade Doc. Welcome, brother. Appreciate it. Thanks for the subscribe, man. VWAP fade on AMD. It wouldn't be a fade. It would probably be a rejection right here. So like the difference between a fade and a rejection is like, if you look at Cron is a fade, right? Bearish trend. So like if you look at Cron here, bearish trend, pull back to the VWAP, rejection back down. A VWAP rejection is when it's in actually a bullish trend. It breaks underneath the VWAP and then gets rejected here. And so it looks like a rejection, which typically has a little bit worse accuracy. But we'll see. I don't usually trade rejections as often as I do fades. I think fades are just a little bit more reliable than rejections. Yeah, no stress, Lucas. Do you think MBOT is a bull flag? Yeah. I mean, it looks like a bull flag. You gotta be careful with these big parabolic movers, though, but it does look like one. So, like, we can draw it out here. Probably this would probably be the better bottom for it. But yeah, definitely, you know, you can see the flagpole here. And so you can see the flag there. But yeah, it definitely looks like one. Is it going to work? I don't know. Big parabolic mover up a lot already. Just depends on if it has enough momentum to break on the upside. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. It's sure it's overstock, David. Overstock's just a little choppy, man. Overstock, I wouldn't trade it. It's just too choppy for me. Not enough volume, sideways trend. I don't like overstock as much. All right, so the SPY broke under the low here, and if it holds this level, AMD could continue to get rejected back down here. But the SPY did break those lows. So we had a little bit of a breakout over this level for MBOT. I think a lot of people are watching this flag play here. Next level to see if it breaks the highs here, but definitely very obvious flag. Good call out, whoever called out the flag on MBOT. You can see the flag here. You see the pole, the actual flag itself. So like I said, next level to watch is that previous high of the day right here. See if it breaks that level or holds. All right, there we go. There's the breakout over the high of the day. Beautiful flag breakout here on MBOT. Pretty tight risk on that one too, so looked like a good play. QUOT. But pretty flag breakout on MBOT. I don't think I could trade it. At least I wasn't able to prior unless they added it. Let me look. No, they'd never added MBOT, so I can't trade it. But beautiful breakout here. Very nice move. All right, we also have the SPY dropping, and so we have AMD dropping now with the SPY. SPY testing the lows again. But, man, very pretty breakout on MBOT. Very pretty. All right, SPY breaking the lows, getting a decent push down. We should get one on AMD now as well. No, I can't trade MBOT, Isaac. That was a pretty flag breakout, but it's not tradable for me. Nice insurance. Good work, brother. VXX. Isn't that an ETF? What is VXX? It's some type of ETF, I think, right? Nice, Mike. Good work, brother. Nice work, guys. Yeah, pretty. I mean, this is a picture-perfect flag breakout on on MBOT. You can see I drew it out before the breakout, and it just followed through really nicely. All the way up to 950, which is the next obvious resistance level. Yeah, nice job, Mike. Good call out, brother. All right, so MBOT is testing this 950 level, which I think is the next major area to look for. It just broke over it pretty cleanly here, but we'll see if it actually holds this level as support. Obviously, like if it breaks 950, we want to see that area hold as support and then continue on its move up. If it can't hold over 950, it may pull back some here, maybe down to $9 or maybe down to these lows at 910, 915. And so we'll see what MBOT does here. It definitely has some volume. A lot of people are watching MBOT at this point. I would consider it a chase if you were to go long here. I probably wouldn't go long here, but you never really know with these big parabolic movers kind of running up crazy. Also, the cannabis stocks are starting to push up. CGC is at least breaking the highs here. AMD down to 2010, but yeah, CGC starting to break these highs. TLRY is kind of sideways still. Cron down on the day. NBEV sideways. APHA is up some at 720s. Yeah, I mean, Gene, that's one of the reasons I stick with AMD on it. Like, if you pick 5 random stocks, of course it's not going to be that successful. The reason I backtested it on AMD was because if you backtest it on AMD, the accuracy rate is like 70-something%, at least prior to last week. Last week it didn't work that hot, but if AMD is the stock that I stick with on it, I really wouldn't try it on a bunch of random stocks. I don't really think that's a good idea. Just because, you know, it depends on the sector, it depends on the cap of the stock, it depends on a lot of different things. But with 5 random stocks, I mean, of course, you're going to get a pretty low accuracy rate. It's just going to kind of be random. But that's kind of why I backtested it on AMD specifically, because AMD showed really good results with it, at least prior to last week. The last 4 months, I think the accuracy rate I got with it was 76%. And so it honestly just depends on the stock you choose, you know. All right, CGC's testing those highs. We'll see what it does here. What did MBOT end up doing? Never could hold over those 950s, which kind of makes sense. Oh yeah, for sure, Gene. Yeah, no, man. I mean, listen, man. I'm definitely not hating on you for back testing it. Like, but I think, like I said though, I think with when you're back testing a certain strategy, you have to look for stocks that are favorable for that strategy, right? And I think AMD is one that's favorable with the opening range breakout. But if you pick a bunch of random stocks, I really doubt it's going to work. And that's why, you know, that's why I don't try it on any other stock besides AMD, because on that stock specifically, it worked really well. But on other stocks, it's not really going to, I don't think. So no stress, man. I respect the fact that you're testing it. Most traders don't. It's kind of what I like to do, is just test the strategies and breakouts. And remember, like I said, guys, if MBOT can't hold support at 950, it's going to come right back down to $9, and that's exactly what it did. Maybe I should trade these more often. I wish I could trade these on TAFs, but I can't. They're not tradable for me. But did exactly what I thought if it couldn't hold 950s. Maybe bounce a little bit here. It just depends on now if it holds the whole dollar of 9 or not, which it doesn't look like it's going to do. To make the VWAP one line, you just go to Studies. And then, like, if you look here, you go to Studies, Edit Studies, or you go to Studies. Here, I could just side click it. You side click the VWAP, Edit Study, and then if you look here, you unclick Show Plot on upper and lower band. So, like it says Show Plot, you uncheck this on upper and lower band, and it'll just give you the one VWAP. AMD now, it's back up to the VWAP here. We'll see if it actually holds or not. Like I said, the SPY is bouncing, so it's following the SPY pretty closely here. No, it's a student account. But yeah, AMD and the SPY are following each other pretty closely here. You get the bounce in the SPY, you get the bounce in AMD, and so it just depends if the SPY holds. I guess I'm probably bearish with it now, but it just depends on whether the SPY continues to drop or not, or whether it kind of consolidates. Yeah, no stress, you mad. No worries, bro. Also, remember, TradeNet, I guess they're keeping their 20% off sale going on until the next 100 packages are sold. But if you're interested in using the broker that Mitch and I use, you can go check out TradeNet. We make a commission from it, but it's one of the ways we keep the stream free. And so if you're interested in using them, you can check out the link I just posted. Yeah, NVDA a lot of the times follows the SPY NVIDIA. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not following it as closely as AMD. It's actually following AMD more closely than it is the SPY. Like, if you look at AMD and NVIDIA, they look very, very similar, almost identical. So it just depends on what the SPY does here. I don't know, man. I mean, Cron, here's the thing. With Cron right now, it looks like a fade. So, I mean, this is kind of the conditions for a fade, right? You get the big bearish trend, pull back to the VWAP, and this is usually where I get in short. Risk could be tied at 15. But it's already faded twice. It's rejected once and faded once already, and so it makes me trust it a little bit less. Plus, it's kind of choppy down here, so, like, I don't want to... It could very easily climb up, especially like if you look at CGC here and you see CGC starting to actually break these highs and start to push up. And so it's not a move I would feel comfortable taking on Cron. But like I always say, I'm not an investment professional. I don't want to give people the wrong answer. It's just kind of what I'm seeing. Missed a good trade on NVIDIA because the platform update made the option charts a little different, so I thought they were broken. Any changes can mess me up. Yeah, for sure. I think you got to be in your comfort level when you trade. It definitely helps. DXR. Yeah, DXR is spiking up here. But yeah, I think it just depends on what the SPY does here for AMD, MU, NVIDIA, and for some of these. Nice, Sam. Good work, brother. Keep killing it, man. Don't stress Ariz. That's tiny, man. Don't worry about it. Don't stress it either, Antonio. You're good, bro. You'll bounce back, man. Later, guys. Yeah, for sure, insurance. I like that logic. It just depends, you know. I think AMD's following the SPY pretty close today. And so it just depends on what the SPY does here. If the SPY ends up washing some, then I think AMD will continue to drop. If AMD If the SPY bounces some, I think AMD will bounce. No, I don't want to. I don't feel comfortable giving those out, Antonio. The reason being, I just don't want to tell people the wrong thing. And swing trading specifically is not something I'm super well versed in, and so I don't want to give people wrong trade ideas. BOXL with a VWAP bounce. Maybe. I think the VWAP bounce this morning was much better on it. Now it's such a big move today that it could very easily give it up. I don't know. I don't know about if you would want to do that. SPY dropping though, and then we get an AMD drop here, so. Alright, we get the SPY testing the lows here. I don't know, man. I think, like I said, I think AMD is just following the SPY pretty close. Hey Mike, I just read your email, brother. I'll get back with you, bro. Quick thing though, my name's not Patrick. My name is actually John. But yeah, I'll get back with you, brother. But yeah, so SPY dropping, breaking the lows. AMD now dropping. We'll see if it breaks that 210 level, that 2010 level. That 2010 is a big level. Not only because it had some resistance at 2006, but it had that previous high from the opening range on AMD at 2007, 2008. And so that 2008, 2010 level is a big level for AMD. And, I think we're going to need a bigger drop in the SPY in order for AMD to actually break it. Oh, no, you're good, man. You're good for sure, Mike. No stress. But yeah, I might be interested in it, Mike. I'll get back with you, brother. It just depends on what it is, man. Yeah, it kind of looks like a double bottom on AMD. Whoa, what did I do here? Shizzo, the reason I picked AMD is because it just had the best results when I back tested it, right? Like Gene said earlier, like he tried it on other stocks and it didn't work well. And so it all just depends, but with AMD, it had a really good accuracy rate when I back tested it, specifically on AMD. I'm not sure why it works better on AMD, but per the back testing results, that's the one that had the most potential with the opening range. And so, that's why I use AMD. It just goes back to back testing. When I back tested it on AMD over the last 4 months, it had roughly 70-75% accuracy, which is pretty high. And so that's why I stick with AMD, is just because that's the stock that gave me the best results when I back tested it. Hey, appreciate the $5 donation, Mike. Thanks, brother. Hey, man, we appreciate it. Appreciate you being here, bro. Appreciate the support. It means a lot, man. So appreciate the $5 donation, brother. Yeah, I mean, it had good results up until last week. Last week was a terrible week for it. It was successful once and failed 4 times. But leading up to last week, it worked really well. And I think you're going to have bad weeks with any strategy. And I think I just got unlucky that that's the week I decided to use live money. And so I'm just sticking with it. It's been working fairly well. Another thing I've noticed is that it tends to work better on the upside. Like whenever the opening range breaks out on the upside, it seems to work a lot better than the downside, at least in this latest market that we've been getting. And so those are a few things to consider. But yeah, it tends to work better on the upside, but with AMD, it was pretty accurate. Yeah, I got my $5,000 strategy I'll sell you guys. It's called Buy the Dip, you know. I'm going to get a shirt made for that. But yeah, AMD breaking down under that 2010 level. It's down to 2003. Next level to watch to see if it bounces is at 20. We'll see if it bounces at $20 now. All right, so we're getting a big down move on the SPY, and AMD should start to tank with it. Yeah, $100 billion, Adley. You know, I know that didn't sound right, but what do you mean? Which layout? All right, guys, I'm probably going to close it down soon. Like I said, if you're interested in checking out trade ideas, I know they have their open house thing coming up. And so if you're interested in trying out trade ideas, I'll post that link here. And so go check them out. Really awesome scanner, super dynamic, really allows you to customize your scans, build your own scans. And so go check out Trade Ideas, super cool company. They allow me to stream their scans every day. And so really cool company. So go check out Trade Ideas. I just posted that link as well. Again, though, if you're interested in using the broker that Mitch and I use, TradeNet still has their 20% off sale going, at least from what I see today. And so if you're interested in using the broker that I use, I'll post that link here as well. And you can go check that out if you're interested in using TradeNet. But yeah, AMD bounced off of 20 just like I thought. It just depends on what the SPY does here. The SPY bouncing, AMD bouncing. $20 is the next level to watch for it at least. Later, addedly. What layout, though? Somebody asked to show my layout. What do you mean my layout? Here's my layout on Thinkorswim. You know, I have 3 monitors, and so you guys can only see 2 of my charts, but I have 12 up. Calling me Patrick here. TJ, open house is like something that Trade Ideas does. I think they allow you to like try out a Trade Ideas scanning thing for like a week, and it's like $8 or something like that. Reach out to them, check out the link like that. I'm not sure exactly the terms, but I know it's like a test drive is what it is. All right, Jason. Later, brother. Later, guys. My name's John, by the way. I'm the king of the north, so remember that. But yeah, guys, I'll see you all a little bit later. Have a good night. We'll see you. We'll see everybody in class tonight if you're joining us. Good luck for the rest of the day. I hope everybody has good luck for the rest of the day. Be careful, protect your accounts, and we'll see how it goes. Opening range breakout worked twice this week, and so we'll see what we get. But later, I'll see you all tomorrow morning.